Pop, 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 pop. Testing. Hello, YouTube. Happy Sunday. I want to talk about two things today. I want to give you a little bit of an update about what's been going on with Aurelio and the progression I've made this week. But before that, I just want to talk a little bit about where my head has been at, what I've been thinking about this past week, and let's get into it. So it's been a very interesting week for me mentally. I feel like I've had a pace that I've never had before. So I've been, for the last 2 weeks, I've been setting my alarm clock at 5:20, and I've been getting up. I think you can see it. It's this one here. It doesn't have a snooze function. So when it rings, I kind of have to get up. Otherwise, if I fall back to sleep, I'll just sleep in, right? And this has been a huge problem for me in the past. I've always been an evening person. I haven't been able to get going in the mornings and kind of work on the things I want. I've hated that, and I've tried to change it, but just haven't been able to. These last 2.5 weeks, for whatever reasons, like the alchemy of what's going on up here, I've just been on fire, and I'm super grateful. And I've been, really working deep and hard. I've been in there, dick and balls. And it feels great. Like I'm super proud of myself. I feel a sense of momentum. I'm impressed and happy and thankful and just invested, right, in this process of getting up, of not being on social media, not being on like YouTube or Netflix, of just trying to bang out hours and hours of work. And I'm making a lot of progress. And it's so strange because I have that in my head, that part, right, which I'm so happy with, so proud of. Like if you asked me a couple of weeks, months, years ago, this is what I said I would have liked to have been able to do, right? Like just be disciplined, focus, prove to myself that I can work on something. So that's super cool. It's so weird though, because it comes with this other thing, which is the more you put in something, the more you invest, the more you connect with it, the more emotional investment you make, there comes anxiety. So all of these thoughts, right? What if it's not going to work out? What if I'm doing something that's not going to be useful for anyone? What if I'm just saying no to all of these things and staying home, staying in and working, and it's just, I won't have anything to show for it? That is so scary. And it, like, the more you get into the process, the scarier it is. And I've been battling these two very opposite sets of feelings this week, which has been interesting and kind of hard. Like the anxiety part, the precursors to self-doubt that you start to feel, it's real and it's so powerful, and it makes you start believing in something, and then you also immediately get scared that that vision you have, what if it doesn't come true? It's like meeting a new person and falling into a crush, right? And it's amazing because here's this new person and you're crushing super hard on them. You're loving every little thing about your contact, your connection, the thing they do. But then at the same time, what if they don't feel that feeling back? What if this ends? That's going to hurt. I feel that's where I'm at right now. And obviously I'm super early into this project. I don't have like anything to show to anyone. I don't have anything to offer up to a test user or anything like that. So there's not a lot of external validation. It's just me in this fucking room, in this chair, plugging away. And it's hard to keep that going and to not let the doubt get to you. So I want to talk about that because that really has been something I've been thinking about in the evenings before going to bed. Mornings have been amazing. Just get up, get coffee, bang out some work. I fuck around a little bit in the mornings, but I'm pretty quick these last few weeks, which is cool. As far as Aurelio, let's do a quick update. I thought I would have something to show today, but I don't. It's still bits and pieces. And I don't want to go through like functionality that isn't like the whole process doesn't work. So again, I'm going to hope that this next week takes me to a place where I can use it, and then I can kind of show how I've been using it throughout the week. Because what I've been doing this week is getting back into Figma. I think I chose it as a backdrop here. OBS freezes on my Mac after a few minutes, so I need a static background. But yeah, I've been designing a lot, which has been nice. But like the thing is, when you're just deep into coding and thinking about functionality, you think about the functionality, but you also think a lot about like the logic, the code, how are the pieces fitting together? And then when you kind of start building out a UI and a user experience, that is kind of where the rubber meets the road in a certain sense of the way. So when you do that, you start feeling like, well, you discover things that, oh, I thought I was building the logic to work this way, but then now that I'm using it, that doesn't really make any sense. Super weird. So I've been doing a lot of designing that has forced me to go back and recode a bunch of things. Very succinctly, I'm fully into this everything is an item way of thinking. And then I've been grinding out some of the UI. I've been grinding out building the item types. So the template for that, I've been spending a lot of time on like the metrics and everything that goes, there's a whole cluster of functionality around that. So basically a metric, the way I think of it, is anything you would want to measure. So it could be like how many times you hit the gym, how much time you spend meditating, what's your current weight, what's your current number of YouTube subscribers, what's your net worth. It could be, anything like that, where something happens and it's either like a single event, like I went to the gym today, or it's an update on a state, like I gained this. I gained a subscriber. My net worth went up by this. That's a metric. And then once you have that defined and it's general, then you can start building functionality around that. So you can start designing streaks and goals and displaying that output, like statistics in a nice way. And I've been spending time on that. So the goal and the streak part, and then just like the interaction as well, the UI with the metrics. So like, is it a slider? Is it a drop down? Is it a text field? Is it a button? Is it a switch? All of these things are different for different kind of goals. And then kind of how that is implemented in the UI. So that's been where I've been at this week. It feels like I've made a lot of progress and no progress at all, which I guess is always the case this kind of early into software projects. But that's it for this week. So next week, hopefully, I can show you something on my laptop. So the desktop version of Aurelio, and we can go through how I've set up like a simple dashboard or a daily to-do list, something like that. And it would be also cool, I think, if I could have some metrics. So, for example, I'm kind of obsessed with recording the amount of hours I put into working on this project right now. And it would be cool to just show you how that has been done throughout the day, and then like how it looks in the app, right? So let's hope for that. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next update. Nice.